Can I ask you about the interest rate cut? Was it the right decision?
It was the right decision, I'm sure, but it won't make a great deal of difference, although it's good news for that section of the population that have tracker mortgages without a so-called collar. They will all find that it is of some help. It's also very bad news for savers. The trouble is, it won't affect the real economy very much. The problem for business is getting any credit at all, and if they can get credit, they'll pay a lot more interest on it than the bank rate set by the Bank of England.
And it leaves very little scope left for further cuts. Does this show the scale of the crisis we're facing?
Well, the bank is going in for quite drastic measures of an unprecedented kind, which some idiot has called quantitative easing, directly increasing the money supply in order just to pump some more liquidity into the system. I mean, because these are prudent central bankers, I am prepared to accept that is probably necessary. You know, if this was Zimbabwe, I would not agree to it. Mervyn King is a deeply conservative with a small C man. He thinks it's necessary. It shows how this repeated package of measures that the government had been announcing ever since last autumn has so far had no effect, and the bank has felt obliged to go to this extreme.
Does Gordon Brown therefore owe us an apology for the way he's handled the economy?
Gordon certainly owes an apology. Of course I don't claim he's solely responsible for the global crisis. It started in America and it started here. Bankers made terrible errors. He was responsible for the regulatory system, which was quite useless here and allowed things to build up until they collapsed. And he was responsible for running the public finances so badly when he was Chancellor that we don't have the necessary firepower to deal with it. And since it's hit us, his government's been overwhelmed by events. We get press release after press release. We burnt through billions in measures that haven't done any good, and still we're contemplating more money to help the banks and more money having to be pumped into the system.
And just finally, you're in Bury today. If you look at the unemployment figures, it seems the recession has actually hit the north and old mill towns in particular worse than the south. Is that your reading of it?
I'm surprised by that, but I do know unemployment is rising rapidly in Bury, which is a town I've been to before, so this is being hit. I actually think, rather curiously, this recession is going to hit London and the southeast more severely than most, because that's where our financial services industry grew to such a bloated level, and the most prosperous part of the country became so dependent on it. But it's now spreading everywhere, and to see more problems for manufacturing, more problems for retail, any business that can't get the necessary credit to maintain working capital or to make fresh investment.
And it's going to get worse, of course, as well.
The worst thing about the present recession, I keep saying it's the worst thing, one of the very bad things is the complete uncertainty. We all want to know how long and how deep this recession will be. Nobody knows, but we're going down now to unprecedented levels, and this is the worst banking and financial crisis we've ever had. Gordon helped create it. Gordon's plainly out of his depth trying to respond to it. And actually it makes us faintly ridiculous when he takes time off to go and spend half an hour present at Obama to try and persuade us all that he's going to lead the global economy out of problems. Obama wasn't there when we made all these mistakes, and he knows as well as you and I do that Gordon Brown was right in the middle of it and bears some of the blame.